Huehuetoca, Mexico. Thousands migrants sitting on railroad cars or waiting in mile-long lines along tracks in Mexico this week to get to U.S. forced closure of a U.S. border crossing and forced closure Mexico's largest railroad. Suspend dozens of freight trains. But this surge has also revealed a much larger phenomenon, a nearly unbroken chain of migrants on an industrial scale that could approach 500,000 this year, is drifting from Colombia to Panama through the Darien Gap jungle. These migrants then move uninterruptedly through Central America towards Mexico and the U.S. border. There are thousands more behind us. It's constant, said Juan Carlos Leal, a Venezuelan immigrant, waiting by the railroad tracks with his 5-year-old son on Wednesday, about 35 miles north of Mexico City. He and other migrants waiting to jump over trains in Mexican town of Huehuetoca said 3,500 migrants were being moved every day from jungle camps organized by smugglers on the Colombian side of Darien Gap. People who can fit into any camp. The treacherous jungle crossing has been shortened from a week to 2 days for strongest hikers, thanks to a network of guides, established camps and rudimentary trail markers starting at Necocli on the Colombian side of Gap. Venezuelan migrants in Huehuetoca said the Darien operation appeared to be dominated by Colombian paramilitary groups, which funneled some of their revenues to Panama's autonomous indigenous groups. Panama's government said last week it would increase deportations to combat the record-breaking flow of migrants through Darien. The smuggling network can now transport migrants from Venezuela to central Mexico in as little as 2 weeks. This was once a journey that could take months. Detentions at the U.S.-Mexico border rose 33% from June to July, according to U.S. government figures, with the decline reversing after new asylum restrictions were introduced in May. It's in their interest to move people as quickly as possible, Venezuelan immigrant Jose Javier Fereira said of the smuggling gangs. This will not be over unless the mafia in Necocli is put to an end. Fereira, a former taxi driver, said he cannot make a living in Venezuela because gasoline is too expensive for those without political connections. At the same time, he decided to leave his family at home because the journey was too dangerous. Entire families were waiting to hop on the freight cars to Huehuetoca. Mayerlin Bracamontes cuddled and played with her 5-month-old daughter while waiting for the train. The woman admitted it was dangerous, but said she was accompanied by Venezuelan friends who would help her deliver baby into the hands of those already on train. Immigrants continue to be hunted by corrupt officials, gangs, thieves and sexual predators at almost every turn. At least half-dozen migrants in Huehuetoca described seeing the same bodies. Woman and her newborn. Young couple. Large old man. Rotting along the forest trail in Darien. The migrant.